Hi, my babies, and welcome back to another video. It's your girl, Virgo Garden. If you don't know, now you know. Anything you need to know about little old me will be down below in the description box. You do not have to be a Virgo for this reading to resonate with you. Hi, my babies. Hi, my babies. Hi. I hope everyone's doing well and swell. Quick announcements right quick. Just a quick reminder for the entire month of February, Queen Alchemy is having a B-Day sale. You get 30% off everything Queen Alchemy when you enter the code HBD30. Now, let's go ahead and get into Sunday in Mimosa episode number 33. Why you shouldn't date just to date. This is going to be real quick, y'all. Okay, this is going to be real quick. Okay? Lord, the situations I get myself in. Some things we just not trying to dwell on too long, okay? So, this is actually going to be about someone who we're going to call Baby Boy. And you'll see when we get to the end why I'm calling him Baby Boy. But, he wasn't in my life that long at all. About a week. Okay, about a week, maybe a week and a half. He wasn't in my life that long at all. So, it was the beginning of 9th grade year, and I got my mom to drop me off at the library. And we didn't have the internet, and I wanted to use the computer to check my MySpace. So while I was at the computer, and I was actually about to log off to leave, I had texted my mom to come get me, and that's when Baby Boy approached me. Okay, he was cute. I ain't gonna lie, he was cute. He wasn't fine, but he was cute, okay? He wasn't ugly, he was cute. And, he was nice. And that was really what made me give him a chance. Like, he was really sweet. He was super nice. He was very respectful, a respectable person. He was a gentleman. Like, I could tell he was raised by, like, old school people that taught him this is how a young man is supposed to act. He was actually raised by his grandparents. But he was also very persistent with getting my phone number. So it was going to take my mom about 10 minutes to get there. So in the process of 10 minutes, he managed to wear me down. So we exchanged phone numbers, and he walked me out to the car. And when I got in the car and we was pulling off, my mama was like, girl, I can't even drop you off at the library without a boy trying to pick you up. Like, okay? Listen, like, I had a bad habit. Like, I would go to the most random places and somebody would ask me for my number, and my mom would be like, what in the world? Like, I don't know. You, my daddy, and God created this creation. What you want me to do about it? So, like I said, we exchanged numbers or whatever, and he did the typical thing, wait a day or two. I don't know why y'all do that bullshit, okay? Because in a day or two, I can meet somebody else that I like, because you was, you know what I'm saying, okay? But, yeah, you know, typical teenage shit. But we ended up having a couple of phone conversations, and it was this one particular conversation I remember. And I was so bored. I'm like, he's nice, but he's too nice. Like, he had nothing to fucking talk about. And I remember I was trying to make the conversation more interesting, and I asked him when his birthday was, and he told me. And at that point in time, that's when I just started getting into astrology. So I'm looking through my little astrology book trying to figure out what sign he is. And I was like, oh, you're a Cancer. And he said, what? And I was like, you're a Cancer. He was like, I'm a Cancer. I was like, yeah, you're a Cancer. He was like, are you AIDS? So the boy thought I was, okay? The boy thought I was trying to call him Cancer, the disease. And I was like, oh God. Oh, okay. So, you know, that's when the red flag started raising for me. Okay. That's when I knew I was about over it. Cause I was like, did you really just call me AIDS though? Like, what are we doing? Did you really just call me AIDS though? And then he had to apologize. Like, yeah, look, the fuck was you thinking? Ask first. Like, you just straight out call somebody AIDS. Like, damn. Like, okay. Like, oh gracious, y'all. So moving on, cause when I say I don't want to dwell on this, so he wanted to come see me, and he kept asking could he come see me, and I already knew at this point in time I'm really not interested. Like, I'm really not. But me being me and not healing the inner child or being aware of the inner child and technically really adding more damage to the inner child, because when you say yes to something you really want to say no to, that's damaging that inner child. You're self-sacrificing. So, which was something I learned from my mother. And clearly at the age of 13, 14, I had already picked up on learning that bad toxic trait from my parents, like a lot of us do. Especially when we get into high school, that's when we usually start displaying our parents' good and bad traits. But yeah, he wanted to come see me. And I let him, okay? And I let him. And he didn't stay that far. It was probably like 10, 15 minute walk. It was like a 2-minute drive though. Crazy. But he came to see me and we walked around the block. Cause I'm the type of person, if I go outside, I'm trying to go outside, okay? And I wasn't trying to be in my house because there's always a whole bunch of people in my house. I never get peace in there. So we walked around the block a few times, you know, neighbors being nosy. Oh, Nina, you out there with a boy? Because they've known me since I was 7 and now I'm in high school. And they're like, oh, wait, she got a boy. Hold on. So, you know, I was still bored. Okay, nothing changed. I was still bored. But he was still cute. Okay, he was still cute. And like I said, he was so nice, y'all. He was a fucking sweetheart. Like, oh my gosh. And he really, really liked me. So he was about to leave and he asked me for a kiss. And I hesitated. But once again, self-sacrificing, I caved in. I said yes to something I didn't want to say yes to. And I let him kiss me. When I say that was the worst kiss of my entire fucking life, okay? To this day, that was the worst kiss I ever fucking had, okay? I really wish I would have told that boy no. Like, y'all, he sucked my whole mouth in his mouth. It was sloppy. He bit my tongue. His breath stank a little bit. And I do believe I swallowed a little piece of oatmeal that he had ate earlier that day. Yeah, it was disgusting. Okay, it was nasty. And I knew I was the fuck done. I knew I was over it. I told my mama when I went in the house, oh, fuck no. He's in there smiling, walking off, looking at me like, yeah, that's my girl. Yeah, I bagged that. And I'm thinking, ew, get away from me, you nasty creature. Like, yo, I went in the house, I told my mom about that kiss. I said, yo, I got to break up with him. Okay, it was just nasty. Do you hear me? It was just nasty. So I'm trying to figure out, after this horrific kiss, exactly how am I going to come up with a plan to break up with this boy without hurting his feelings. And to be quite honest with you, I didn't come up with one, okay? I didn't come up with one. Not to hurt his feelings. Like, I really didn't. And I just kind of figured the best thing for me to do is probably just be mean, which is not ever the right thing to do. So what had happened was, he called me. Now, I forgot to tell y'all too, we went to 2 different schools. I don't know how that shit happened, because he was supposed to go to my high school, but he ended up going to another high school. Actually, he ended up going to the rival high school to the one I went to. I ended up going to that high school later on, but y'all hear about that in the Couch Talk video, I think. But yeah, he ended up going to the high school that Missy Elliott went to and graduated from. So yeah, shout out to Manor High School, okay? Shit. So he called me, right? And it was after school. And I remember I was sitting in the living room and my grandma was like, well, I was in my bedroom. And I just came back from school, probably like 30, 45 minutes in from school. And the phone rang and my grandma was like, Nina, you got a phone call. So I go in the living room and he's all excited and he wants to see me again. And he wanted to know if he could come see me because it was a Friday and stuff. And he was talking about he wanted to go to the game and like, you know, like real relationship shit. First off, I don't even remember agreeing to be in a relationship. I don't know how that shit keep happening to me. I don't remember agreeing to being in these relationships with people. They be making up in their head that we in relationships and we not. Like, we gotta sit down and have a whole conversation. Like, he just automatically assume, oh, you're my girl. No, that's not how that works. I'm not a piece of property. See, that goes back to that inner child healing, because that's how my father thinks. And already I was attracting in people that, like, he was my first person I dated. I don't want to call him my boyfriend, but he was the first person I dated in high school, and then after him is when I dated Lou. So 9th grade, high school, far as the people I dated or talked to, it was people that had negative traits that my father had or that other males in my life had. Because far as I know, my father never put his hands on a female, far as in domestic violence. Now, to defend himself when he was at work, because he used to be a security guard, yeah. But far as, like, I haven't ever heard anything along those lines, nor do I even see that in my pop's character to just swing off and hit a female just cause. I will give him that. But it's like, the possessiveness, y'all. The possessiveness of, it's a trophy wife syndrome. That's what we gotta call it, real talk. The trophy wife syndrome. And it seems like damn near every man I have dated, not everyone, but damn near every man I have dated has had that trophy wife syndrome. And it's, you're my prize. I want you on my arm. And that's how my pops move. Like, anyway, so yeah, he wanted to come see me. And I told him I didn't think that was a good idea. Still trying to be nice, right? So then he goes into this series of questions of asking why after every fucking sentence that I said, right? So he was like, he wanted to come see me. I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. He was like, why? And I kept trying to avoid the shit. And everything I said, he was like, why? Why? And I was like, because I want to break up. Okay? That's when I started getting irritated. And I was like, I want to break up. You want to break up? Why do you want to break up? So I'm explaining to him why I want to break up. And I'm telling him I'm bored with the combo. And I wanted someone that wasn't so sensitive. I actually told the boy I wanted a thug. Because that's what I was into at that point in time. Y'all, I was young. Okay? I didn't know no better. And I told him I wanted someone I had more in common with. And he asking why. Well, I like this, and I can learn about that and get into stuff like that. I can be a thug. Meanwhile, he over there sniffing and crying though. And by the time we got to the end of the conversation, this boy is full blown crying on the phone with me, y'all. And I'm trying to figure out, like, and y'all, I'm gonna be honest, and it probably does make me a bitch in that moment, and that's fine. I'll be a bitch in that moment. But the fact that he cried when I broke up with him and he was so sensitive made me even more unattractive to him. Like, I'm like, he was over there, but I don't understand because, Nina, I really like you. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I was not feeling it. And that probably, okay, that makes me a bitch. It does. It makes me a bitch. I'll own that. I was a bitch in that moment. I'll own that. That's fine. That's fine. But, yeah, I just really wasn't feeling it. And next thing I know, he's crying, and I'm letting him, because I'm going to give you your opportunity to speak. And he hung up the phone on me in the middle of crying. And I was like, okay, well, I'm done with that problem. Next thing I know, it's probably about 2 minutes later, if that, I don't even think it was a whole 2 minutes. The phone starts ringing again. I look at the phone, look at the caller ID, and it's his phone number. And I'm like, oh, God. This boy calls back. I'm thinking I'm going to get baby boy, crybaby, sensitive ass person. And instead I got, why the fuck you break up with me for? I ain't do shit to you. I was like, yo, what the hell is going on? We went from like having a nervous breakdown to about to do 25 to life. Like, it was a complete different person. And y'all, this is why it is not okay to date just to date. You are not only wasting your time and energy, but also that person. And you could also cause further fucking damage with that person, which is actually really fucking selfish, to be quite honest. I'll call myself out on it. But I tried to get out the situation. And I felt like I got out the situation in a reasonable time. Within a week, I got out the situation. Now, how it went down, it wasn't the best of the best, okay? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. But I learned my lesson. If I don't really want to be in a relationship, well, technically I didn't, because I repeated that mistake later on in my 20s. But I learned then to be more sensitive when breaking up with someone or when not dealing with someone anymore. Because that boy was really liking me. He was really starting to fall for me. And he thinking we gonna be dating all through high school. And I'm like, babe, we ain't even gonna make it to fucking winter break. Okay? We not even gonna make it to winter break. So, babies, this is Sunday in Mimosas, episode 33. Why you shouldn't date just to date, and why you should also be more sensitive to other people's feelings, even though you may feel some type of way. And also be honest from the beginning, because honesty is the best policy. So, alright, babies, I'm your girl, Virgo Garden. If you didn't know that shit, I bet you know that shit now. How to follow me, how to book me, and how to get my wonderful, beautiful, amazing products that you all love so much will be down below in the description box. I love you, babies. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Do not judge me, but I had to throw this Sunday in Mimosa in there because that does have to do with high school. Because I'm going to go ahead and close out this goddamn couch talk high school edition, because I'm the fuck over it. So y'all got a little bit more of my business, and yeah, I got that Virgo in me. When a Virgo ain't feeling you no more, oh gracious, you just don't exist, babe. You just don't exist. So make sure when you are looking for love, or more so attracting love in, that you are attracting in what it is that you really want. And do not waste your time with something you know or someone you do not see long term with. Let this be a message or confirmation for someone that's doing that shit right now. Stop wasting you and that person's time if you know it ain't going nowhere. And always make sure that you set boundaries and respect yourself. And like I always tell y'all, self-love is the best love. Love you, babies. Mwah.